Everyone, it's your boy Gerard, aka Double OG, Mr. Vegas and something, representing the purple one, the Prince of Wannabes, editor in chief of soon to be out Filipino Soul. It's actually SGIB magazine, but it's Filipino Soul because that's where I'm at. And I've set a deadline for when it to be done. It's going to be done at the end of July. On July, end of July, it'll be going to publication. That's the deadline because the thing was waiting for me to take it to give it a deadline. But as Murphy's Law, what can go wrong will. Right now, the Word document that I'm using, and I had a free trial, 30-day trial thing that I was using. It was good because up until then I was using something else that someone else had given me to use because I was unable to open up my Word documents. It was like open office, but I started using Word, and because it was a trial thing, when the trial was up, I tried to renew it or to purchase it. And for some reason, it's not going through, or it won't go through. I called Microsoft. Microsoft said my bank is freezing it. And I called my bank. My bank said, no, it's not freezing anything. And then, it's funny when I call tech support, for some reason, whenever I get somebody from India, I get nervous. I really get nervous because I had such a bad experience as far as having my identity stolen, and I still get calls from them asking me about my computer repair because I trusted them. I gave them my card once and paid them, and every now and then they'll call me and says, we want to refund your money. I said, get the hell out of here. You want my bank? All you want is my bank information. So when I called Microsoft, of course, I had a wonderful experience talking with the personnel. And when I called the bank, I called them back, and now I have someone from India. And so he says, okay, hold on. And then I'm holding a long time. Then he comes back and says, hold on. I said, oh, you're trying to wake somebody up and have them log in on my thing. I said, oh, no, I'm not falling for that. No, I'm not. He said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. President Bush, former President Bush should take a lesson on how to say that. So anyway, so that's where I'm at right now, is getting Word. I'm going to try it again in a few minutes and try to download it so this way I can move forward. Right now I am working in Notepad. Notepad is fine as far as doing the editing, and thanks to Diamond, she had transformed everything that would... See, I printed out some of the pages by the grace of God, and those weren't stolen or damaged, so I still have those. So with her transcribing them into the computer, I'm going through it and editing them, which is good right now. And it's interesting that right now I'm doing Lamonte McLemore. For some of you who don't know Mr. Lamonte McLemore, Mr. Lamonte McLemore was the founder of the Fifth Dimension. Some of you may know the Fifth Dimension. It's amazing how this whole magazine is intertwined with each other as far as groups are concerned. With the Mary J. Blige talking about, not Mary J., but the Mary Jane girls talking about, one of the girls was talking about how she ended up becoming a Mary Jane girl was because of Ron Tyson. Ron Tyson was one of the members of the Temptations, and Lamonte McLemore with his group, the Fifth Dimension, got booed off the stage, opening up for the Temptations. Who else? And it's just amazing as I read through them. Charlie Murphy, was listening to the old school in his house, Temptations, and it's amazing how those groups are all intertwined with one another, and how each generation from then on has been influenced by them, and that's the important R&B music, soul music, classic soul music. So anyway, so I'm editing on Lamonte now, and Lamonte, who is not only the former founder of the Fifth Dimension, he is also a photographer, because SGIB magazine is a photographer's magazine. The reason it is a photographer's magazine because when I got out of prison, I bought a conventional camera, not knowing that the digital age had made its evolution. And so I was already behind before I can get back on deck. So, but one thing I knew and most of those jobs with digital were already taken. Because I relished of always being the only photographer in the room on assignment. Today, you have artists on stage with their cell phones doing their own thing, doing their own videography or taking their own pictures, which is fine. I have no problems with that. But one thing that they don't have is the rich history of the entertainment business as I have. And so with that history and contacts, I decided to put the magazine together. And it's Hip Hop Urban Raw, the Truth, a Photographer's magazine. Hip hop, because it recognizes the most dominating force in music since 1998. And I know that you're precisely because I was in prison and I had read an article that hip hop had passed the most popular genre in music, which at that time was country. Urban because it's another product manifested from the streets. There's no big corporations and no big advertisement, paying for this magazine. It's just, or supporting this magazine, just you and me. Raw because what you see is what you get. Speaking of which, because a lot of stuff is damaged, I'm fortunate some of the shots I had taken during the time in Las Vegas, I did lay them in the magazine. So now I'm reshooting them with my cell phone and putting them in. So raw, you're going to see raw. And so what you see is what you get. There's no airbrushing or anything along those natures. It's just the way it is. The Truth, because it pays homage to Miss Bonnie Hilton Sweeney, who is the founder of the pre-Grammy party. She's also close confidant of the Godfather Soul, Mr. James Brown, who Bonnie was also the editor of his magazine called The Truth. And I was the East Coast representative of that magazine. So The Truth and symbolizes to me that whole era of Bonnie, Mr. Brown, Jerry, Calamita, all that whole crew, that whole era. That's what it reminds me, and I pay tribute to, because that's where my strongest and my most enjoyable time of being a photographer has been. And and we know there's a heaven up above. Bonnie's teaching people how to network. We love you, Bonnie. And we know you love this more. That's why I say I always love you more. And that's each time I say that, it's paying homage to Bonnie. It's a shame whenever someone puts together an organization that does so much for people, and when they pass, the organization seems to die. It's so sad. She needs to be in the history books for her contribution for what she's done for the entertainment industry. Well, I do my share of remembering her, and I hope you allow me and help me to do that by having patience with me each time I mention it. A photographer's magazine. Yes, a photographer's magazine, because that's all I am, a simple photographer. A mediocre photographer at that. I remember when I was going to photography class, and I was working at Ford Motor Company on the assembly line. I was driving a New York City taxi cab, and I was going to school at night also for photography classes. And one night I was so tired, I got up on the enlarger and I leaned up against the enlarger and I dozed. I've already finished my printing assignment. At that time, in black and white. And I fell asleep against the enlarger. And the instructor came in and I popped up and he said, no, sleep, McLeod, sleep. You can always be a mediocre photographer. and funny enough, that's what I've become. A mediocre photographer. I never really read manuals or anything like that. I was a freelance publicity photographer. One shot. That's all it took. And that's all I needed. So I was good with that. But anyway, getting back to Lamonte McLemore and having him in the magazine, not only for his musical contributions, but because he is also the photographer for Jet Magazine's Beauty of the Week. He did that column each week, and I think he spawned more photographers than any other photographer, than Gordon Parks, than Richard Avedon, Francesco Scobulo, Enzo Adams, or any other photographer, Francesco Scavulo, who is my idol, who he also had something to go with him, so each week I think there was a lot of men who got the Jet magazine just to look at the beauty of the week. And I think he's taught black women, how to be elegant and beautiful, and saying, and to carry a certain poise about themselves. And I think it taught them to be sexy, and I think it taught men how to respect their sexiness, if that makes any sense. So having him in the magazine is one of the biggest coups I could have ever accomplished. Having a photographer magazine is having Lamonte McLemore. He's also done a number of other things. I'll let you know a little secret, and then I'm going to sign off because there's something else I'm going to tell you. He is also, he had his own magazine called Elegance, and because of the red tape, he got tired of it, got bored with it, whatever, and too many hands in it. The publisher was in New York and what have you, and they wanted to take it over, and so Lamont just said, the hell with it. He wants to move on to something else. And Elegance magazine, without skipping a beat, the following month came out to be Essence magazine. So Essence magazine is actually an extension of Elegance magazine, where Elegance magazine showed you the beauty, the sophistication of the black man, the black woman, urban living, and now you know the rest of the story, okay? So anyway, having him in the magazine is one of the beautiful things about this issue. Now, on the 26th of this month, I'm going to make an announcement. I'm going to go live for the first time. And I'm going to introduce you to Diamond, let you meet Diamond. We're going to have a conversation. You're going to meet us and talk to us. And also, I'll be making an announcement that I want to share with you on Facebook. Because you know why? Because for the first time ever on Facebook, the greatest romance episode. That's according to Prince. And so on the 26th, it's going to be 9 a.m. Filipino time, 9 p.m. New York time, and 6 p.m. Las Vegas time. I haven't forgotten you, Vegas. And I want a lot of you to chime in. You hear me, my girl, Victoria, Bobby, on and on and on. I want y'all to chime in and say hello, whatever, as I make this announcement. So I give you a lot of time. That's on June 26th. Coming up within 12 days. That's 288 hours, I think. I didn't calculate the minutes yet, but 288 hours from now. I'm going to make an announcement, and I want you to be a part of it. Again, I am in Cebu, Philippines. I can't tell you how simplistic life has been for me. How much I enjoy it. The custom is different. I talked to Diamond, and she just found out that Jamaicans were black. To give you an idea. So it's been fun. It's just been beautiful. That's all I can say. I'll tell you more about it. But this is Gerard, editor-in-chief of Filipino Soul. Remember, dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. Never disrespect the elderly and always pull someone up. And sometimes you're the only one who can see your vision. And the best revenge in life is to live good. And I'm living good today. I hope you are too. And if you haven't got a dream, a goal, an idea, a train of thought, don't worry about it. Do what I do. Get as much as you can, as fast as you can, and come to the Philippines. All right? And if you're fortunate enough to have a woman, like I do, treat her like a lady, as Ollie Woodson, lead singer of The Temptations, once sung. And, oh my God. With that, love you like a love song, baby. I'll talk to you later.